Hey guys, KiwiSylveon, and welcome to Seduce Me to the Demon War. Now we finished up Sam, James, Eric, and I'm just realizing now we're going pretty much in order of brothers, because my brain just hit me, and I forgot to hit my butt recording. Yay! So it's gonna be a little different, but yeah, we did Sam, we did James, we did Eric. It's right now getting uploaded now, and I have them all scheduled, so yay for future editing. Now we're going after the Cinnabun himself, Matthew.
Hold on there!
I know what the game is, yes. Yep, I know.
Oh, awesome! Alright then. Matthew's such a cutie, isn't he? I mean, not like he's a kid or anything.
Shut up. Nah, I'm good.
Alright then.
Bye.
Oh, just so you know, though, anytime you have the choice...
Whoa.
This has gone on for long enough! I will not let them trap me in a corner like this!
Okay.
Azira!
If you can see my mouse, I'm sorry. I'm using my other recording software, so... Husband. I love how she says that. Husband.
You're still here. Why have you not left like the others?
Does that mean the other wives just went, bye, bastard? You slept with that bastard bitch? We're out.
What do you want?
Do you honor our marriage?
I don't know. Did you honor our bond when you slept with that whore?
Oh, she called you out. That's adorable. Fuck you, Demon Lord.
I said, do you honor our marriage?
I do honor it, unlike you.
Ooh, she is just burning him.
Then you still stand by our bond?
Why are you asking me these questions?
Because I need your energy.
How?
What? What do you...
I'm giving you your physical form back. You should be thankful.
How about no?
What? What are you...
What's going on? Hello? Stop. I could only stare at what was in front of me. I could hardly believe that it was real, but there it was, right before my eyes. How had my life even gotten to this point? As I gripped the pen in my hand, I let my mind settle into the situation. My fingers gently slid over the pen's surface, nervous and softly shaking. This was happening.
Hey, is everything okay?
Cinnabun! Sorry. He's so cute. You cannot, no, he is adorable. I glanced up to see Matthew looking at me with worry. I could only shake my head and smile before finally signing my name on the paper in front of me. Now we're with Matthew, who is adorable. He is paired with Jenna, because she's like him. Except now that they're engaged, she toned down a little. I looked over at my name and looking at my own name made me somewhat giddy, especially since it was next to Matthew's. How does it work? Do the brothers take on a name, like a last name? Because there's an Anderson. Because yeah. So, what do you think? Matthew looked over and gently rotated the paper on the table to look at what I had written.
Thank you for coming to our wedding.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just really cool to see our names together.
I felt a blush run across my cheeks. Was he thinking the same thing I was? Are you Damien? Is Matthew Damien in disguise? Looking at our names together made me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. Looking at Matthew, he was grinning ear to ear, which made me do the same. His smile was practically infectious.
Anyways, we are very happy you could all attend. It means so much to us that you support our step forward, and we hope you enjoy the reception. Sounds good, right?
Yes, Matthew, yes. Yes, Ethan. Matthew. Uh, Ethan, you really gave Matthew a good name, good voice. Curse you. Yeah, that sounds good. Wedding preparations were nothing like I expected. I had organized parties before, but my own wedding had become a new foreign adventure for me to figure out with Matthew. Invitations, budgets, the dress, the ceremony venue, the reception hall. It was all crazy. Still, I was glad to know I was able to do this to be with Matthew. He seemed as excited about this as I was. There's something missing, however. Where are the boys? And where are their wives? Are they here? No. Hey, Matthew,
Huh? What is it?
do you think your mom would approve of this? The curiosity of the idea had been eating at me ever since he proposed to me. I knew he wasn't a fan of his father, but his mother was a different story. According to him, she had always been supportive of him right up until he left. Matthew rubbed his head, staring at the table in thought.
Well, I don't know. I think she'd be surprised I'm marrying a human. But I think she'd be okay with it in the end. She is my mother, after all.
True. Matthew only smiled and shrugged. I knew it was a bit out of left field to ask, but I was curious. I wish his mother could be able to attend the wedding, but I knew that would never be an option. Hello? Huh? My thoughts instantly derailed as I caught a ghostly whisper that seemed to reverberate in the air. I couldn't pin down the location, but I knew that I heard something.
Huh? What is it?
You didn't hear that?
Hear what?
I looked at Matthew in surprise. He didn't hear the whisper? It had spoken his true name. I shook my head and rubbed my temples. Maybe I was just imagining things.
Help me.
Okay, tell me you heard that, Matthew. There it was again. I stood up from my seat and looked around, trying to figure out where the voice was coming from. Matthew's face was just like, what just happened? Who's there?
Whoa! Whoa! What's wrong?
I looked at Matthew. How could he not hear it? I wasn't crazy. Someone saying your name, boy. Matthew raised an eyebrow, unsure of what I meant. Why didn't he get it? What was so hard to understand?
But I don't hear anything.
I know I'm not making sense, but someone keeps saying your real name.
My real name? Zakeru?
Yes, that name. No, your other name, Bob. Yeah, she keeps saying it and help me. Matthew slowly rose from his seat, looking down at the table in confusion and worry. I could tell he believed me, but wasn't sure how to respond. Are you sure you couldn't hear it?
I'm sure.
Matthew looked up at me and walked around the table to stand next to me, and I turned my body to face him. He looked into my eyes and gently brought his hands to my cheek.
Does she sound like anyone we know?
No. Ethan, your grunts are cute. Ethan Nakashima is the voice actor for Matthew, if you all didn't know. I stared as Matthew continued to look in my eyes. What was he looking for? Eventually, Matthew leaned in and placed a soft kiss on my forehead. What?
I'll look into it, okay? For right now, don't worry about it and ignore it. It might be an illusion or something. This place is so full of magic, so it could be that.
True. I could tell Matthew was worried. He wasn't making sense. However, I knew that we had a lot on our minds, so this was something that needed to wait. Maybe he just didn't want me to worry. Maybe he just wanted me not to worry. Words, I can speak them, I swear. Still, I couldn't help but be worried about it. Matthew gently released me and gave me one of his goofy smiles.
Alright, well, I think that's enough work for today. Let's save the rest for tomorrow, okay?
Okay. I nodded. Today had been pretty stressful, so rest would definitely be good. I would like to say that if this was in my universe, like wherever, she'd be calling Ellie and going, I'm hearing voices again. Or I'm hearing voices, help me. Or she'd even call James, like, can you tell me something? Why am I hearing voices? That'd be adorable, but nope. Matthew led me back up to our room and got ready for bed. I, however, watched as Matthew absently ruffled his hair. Despite his kid-like demeanor, he was still a man, and he was the one I was going to marry. What was even better about our love was that we both loved every part of each other. I couldn't stop gushing over his eyes, his fluffy hair, his kisses. It drove me crazy as he made me smile every single day I spent with him. It didn't help that he was also sexy underneath the baggy clothes he wore. No one was privileged enough to see him bare, and I was the lucky woman given that permission. I don't care what people say. Matthew is not a little baby. He is a handsome, handsome little man. Sorry, I had to take a drink. A simple ruffle of his hair was enough to catch my attention, and I stared at him. I really loved him. A small fire burned in my core, let me know of my sexual attraction to him. But I wasn't sure of whether or not to go with my gut or just sleep. I'm feeling naughty. Matthew's like, oh shit. Looking up and down his body, I really couldn't help but let my libido take control. Libido take control. I need to learn how to say that right. I let out a soft moan, loud enough for Matthew to hear. He froze, turning to look at me with a blush across his face.
Huh?
He is so cute and adorable. Matthew. I was nervous, but I decided to tease him. I would have to go all the way. All the way. God damn it, I've got the song in my head. Go away. Back, song, back. I slowly began to strip off my clothes, revealing my underwear and bra. Matthew's eyes darkened into a lustful gaze as I gently ran my fingers over my stomach between my breasts. We did a lot of work today, but I don't want to go to sleep just yet. Holy shit, how am I doing this? But yeah, Jenna would actually sound like that. She may be playful and stuff, but when it comes to hanky-panky, she turns into a little demon herself, but a good one. I gently leaned forward and climbed onto the bed on my hands and knees, letting him enjoy the sight of my cleavage. Matthew turned to watch me slowly, not taking his eyes away from me as I crawled forward to his side of the bed. I licked my lips, happy to know that my teasing was working. I finally stopped moving forward and got up onto my knees, leaning back a bit and stretching my arms behind my head. Why not make the night a bit better with me? I almost couldn't recognize my own voice. However, I went along with it. He wasn't the only one in the relationship that could set a mood, even though he was the incubus. As Matthew stared, I felt soft heat envelop my core and rush through my body, another moan coming out of my mouth. I looked into Matthew's eyes, seeing them a loving but less filled gold. It slowly faded as the enthrallment he cast on me ran through my body, making me hotter. Hello! I keep forgetting about Matthew's little custom CG right here. Yeah, boy. Yeah, we're in trouble. Look at that smirk. Oh shit, we're in trouble. Oh, fuck me. I mean, we're about to, but still, fuck me. Matthew slowly began to strip off his jacket and shirt, letting me enjoy the show before he licked his lips. He knew exactly how to respond to my teasing, and, despite it not being fair, he used his inhuman charms to make my mind melt at the sight of him. As he pulled his shirt off his body, he held it out to the side, letting me get a good look at his chest. I felt myself lick my own lips at the sight. Speaking of, damn! Even though he's set up to be like a little child, he is still ripped. Not as ripped as the other ones, but you have to admit, he's kind of ripped himself. He's still sexy as hell. And those eyes, I keep getting drawn to his eyes, even though he's a picture.
Then, let me make it better.
Poor Ethan. He probably was like, how do I? Okay, I'll try it this way. Poor Ethan. But that is. Let me hear that again, please.
Then, let me make it better.
That ending is. Then let me make it better. That was all he needed to say before coming over to me and crawling over my body, capturing my lips with his in a heated kiss. His arm wrapped around my waist, and his other hand gently slid down behind my back and gingerly held my rear. Honk, honk. Sorry. I let my legs move out from underneath me so that he could kneel between them, gently grinding my knee against his. He smirked against my lips as he gave a playfully slow grind with his lips against my core. My mind was crazy at his teasing foreplay. He pulled me against his body, squeezing me with his arm around my waist, before deepening the kiss between us. I let a moan escape my throat and became lost in his mouth as he claimed my lips for himself. I swear I'm not drooling. Okay, maybe a little, but... I loved feeling him touch me and hold me to him. He was the man I loved, and I wanted to give him everything as he gave me just as much and more. Our sex became just another way to express our desire and love for each other. Soon enough, we were both panting and moaning hotly as we made deep and passionate love. Our clothes were strewn about the room, but our focus was in each other's eyes. His moans echoed mine as he kissed and nipped over my neck and shoulders. However, he'd always come back and stare into my eyes and kiss me deeply as he made love to me, as I made love to him. Those eyes, baby! I loved him and wanted to be held by him and be full of him forever. My heart belonged to him, and he was a dream come true for me. To feel his love for me was a blissful treasure I would cherish and experience for the rest of my life. He always knew how to find my sweetest spots and knew the ways to make me buck and scream his name. Which one? His true or his human name? We rose higher in our pleasure, in ecstasy, until we both ran over our limits and ever so gently floated back into the loving feel of our embrace. Matthew could only pant and hold me in his arms, sweetly petting my hair and kissing over my forehead.
I love you so much.
I love you too. Aww, I love that. My heart fluttered at the sound of his voice. He was my everything, and to feel him in my arms made me happy beyond compare. I happily embraced the darkness of sleep as Matthew continued to hold me in his arms. The darkness was meant to be peaceful. Sleep was meant to be relaxing. However, my mind began to wonder what happened earlier that evening. Hearing that voice made me worried. Something was off. Something was going on, and I was the only one who could sense it. Why, though? I let the darkness seep into my mind a little longer, unsure of what to think of it. What the... What the fuck? I opened my eyes and found myself no longer in my bed, but on a stone-cold floor staring high at a high marble ceiling. Despite feeling foreign textures beneath my skin, I vaguely knew where I was. I was in the main hall of the Demon Lord's castle. I remember the sight from the vision the boys gave me when Diana first appeared. Why was I here, though? Where... That sounded actually like she enjoyed it, to be honest. My instincts forced me to turn to the sound, and I saw someone I did not expect. Diana? Held in the air was Diana, hanging from 4 long lengths of chains that were attached to her wrists and ankles. She was spread out like a star, and the chains were pulling her body in different directions, seemingly ready to rip her in half. My mind couldn't fathom why she was in this illusion, if it was one. She looked so different, but I could tell it was her. Why was she in chains, though?
Release me!
I didn't do anything, Diana.
Oh, I will.
But maybe Matthew did. Matthew? I don't know how to say this. You need to get your eyes checked. Matthew's voice reverberated with cold demonic resonance as it drew my eyes toward him in shock. There he was, sitting on the throne, practically lounging on it. He was still in his human form, but his eyes were glowing an unnatural gold color. What was even more odd was that he was smirking at Diana. I had never seen him smirk like that, like he was enjoying someone's pain.
I'll kill you once I'm bored of this game. Your struggle is just so much fun to watch.
You think this is funny, brat?
Matthew glared as the chains pulled harder on Diana's limbs. I flinched from the sound of her body stretching, almost hearing the sound of bones cracking. Diana, however, sneered at Matthew in reply.
Do you really think calling me a brat is going to help you?
Well, that's what you are. A brat who abuses his toys until they break.
I could only stare at the two, completely confused by what I was witnessing. I tried to speak out, but suddenly my voice disappeared, and before any sound could be formed in my throat. Gripping my neck, I looked down, trying to figure out why I couldn't speak. There was some sort of vice pressed through my vocal cords, not allowing me to mutter even a single sound. Its weight almost made me choke. However, I looked back at Matt as Matthew gave a sickly, evil chuckle.
That's right. I like to play with my toys until they're of no use to me. That's how toys work.
Okay. That last word, Ethan, if it wasn't for the fact that we would be completely scared, I think that would, reverberate and do the opposite to somebody, because it was so good. Anyway, Matthew stood up slowly from the throne, and his lips curled into a devilish smile as his tongue ran along his upper lip.
And when I'm done with them, I destroy them.
And what of the human? Is she just another toy?
Please say no. Please say no. Please say I am not a toy. I looked at Diana, seeing her move her head to look at me, before turning back to Matthew in realization. I was physically there. I wasn't just watching the event, I was part of it. Matthew looked back at me, and his face shifted to an innocent smile. My heart desperately clung to the possibility that he wasn't as evil as he was presenting himself to be. His smile pulled at my heartstrings, giving me hope that he was just playing some sick joke.
She's not just a toy.
But my heart dropped in my chest. Matthew tilted his head cutely, giving me a disgusting feeling of adoration and fear from the sight. Never had imagined feeling like this while looking at the one I loved, yet here I was.
She's my favorite toy. I can't break the toy that I have the most fun with. Especially when that toy gives me so much energy.
Like a predator, Matthew began to walk towards me, passing underneath Diana's hanging form. Sorry, I hit my mic. I couldn't move as he knelt down and cupped his hand around my chin.
I'll keep you with me forever and ever.
Goddamn, Ethan. You make evil Matthew actually evil. I'm scared. Hold me. Fear seared my nerves. I did not want to be near this man. This wasn't Matthew. It couldn't be. There was no way. As he stood up, I felt tears run down my face. This was a nightmare. I wanted to wake up. Please. Matthew's hand pointed at the throne and glided back through the air to me. I completely switched words in there, but it was said. The sound of chains echoed through the room, forcing me to follow it and see a chain flying at me. I tried to scream as it leapt towards my throat. From thin air, a shackled collar formed around my neck, connecting the chain as it reached me. And I was pulled forward roughly through the air before landing beside the throne with a painful thud.
No!
Diana screamed as a large cage suddenly formed around my body, making me its prisoner. I scrambled to my knees and gripped the bars that surround me, now frightened beyond compare. Matthew let out a terrifying laugh, sending more waves of fright through my body. This wasn't happening.
This world is mine. No one can stand in my way anymore. Not James, not the Demon Lord, and not you, Diana!
Smirking wildly, Matthew looked at Diana, raising his arm across his body.
And I've grown tired of you.
Before Matthew could move, my fear and anger quickly bubbled in my chest, one word pushing past the blockage in my throat. Stop! As my voice ripped through the air, everything went black. My body, however, sat up in bed in shock from what I had seen. My scream reverberated through the room as I let it sink in that I was awake and all of that had just been a nightmare. Despite it feeling all real, I was no longer in a cage. I wasn't in a room with Diana being ripped apart. I wasn't...
Ah! What?
I shot my head to the side to see Matthew in bed with me, sitting up beside me and rubbing his head. A heavy tiredness weighed down the eyelids over his frightened eyes, but my mind suddenly began to seize in fear just from looking at him. My mind shouted that it had just been a nightmare, but my body couldn't help but remember what Matthew had done to me in that dream. It may have been fake, but I couldn't stop the fright from washing over my nerves. Tears formed in my eyes as I stared at Matthew. I wanted to know that everything was fine, that I really was more than just a toy for him, but my voice wouldn't let me speak without bawling. Matthew quickly rubbed his eyes and stared at me, his concern obviously deepening at seeing me in tears. He slowly raised his hands to embrace me, but I flinched away, causing him to freeze in place.
Whoa! It's okay. It's alright. It's just me.
Matthew's voice tried to warm over my fear, but my feelings were still conflicted, despite my brain knowing better. He continued to stare at me, waiting for me to relax. I could only meet his gaze warily, with both fear and sadness.
Hey, I'm gonna hug you, okay? That's all.
Mm. My heart wanted to believe him. I had to. He couldn't be as sadistic as my nightmare had depicted him. I nodded, and Matthew slowly began to wrap his arms around me, hugging me to his chest.
There we go. It's okay.
Oh, I love this Matthew. This Matthew is nice. I don't want to ever see the other Matthew. That one was mean and evil and mean and mean and evil. Did I mention he was mean and evil? I began to melt in Matthew's arms, finally feeling the fear disappear from my body. I pressed my face into his shoulder, shaking in remorse as the panic drained away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Matthew simply rocked me in his arms and nuzzled beside my head with his. He occasionally planted a kiss over my cheek and shoulder, reminding me of his love and that everything was okay. His breath became a temple for me to follow, letting me relax and feel his love all around me.
Bad dream, huh?
Yeah. Matthew gave me a soft squeeze, snuggling up to me, and I gratefully snuggled back. He would never hurt me. I couldn't let myself be affected by a nightmare. Hopefully, he wouldn't ask about it.
Hey, whatever the dream was, just know that everything will be alright, okay? It was just a stupid nightmare. Whenever you wake up, I'll be right here beside you, ready to make it go away.
Yay! Best guy ever. Don't look at me like that, Sam and Eric and James. Go away. This isn't your route. Go away. I finished you guys. The way he sounded so confident made my heart flutter in my chest. He truly cared for me, and that was something I adored about him. He loved me, and I loved him just in return just as much. I nodded and nuzzled his shoulder, warming into his embrace further. Matthew smiled and kissed the top of my head. As I closed my eyes, he gently laid his back down under the mattress and helped me shift to lie against him, making his chest my pillow. Thankfully, the nightmare didn't return that night. I was left with a warm embrace and a peaceful slumber until the morning rose. Even in the days that followed, the nightmares didn't come back. Neither did the mysterious voice. My week became peaceful, final details for the wedding becoming our only focus. I was nervous for it, and soon the day of the wedding had snuck up on me, and I was in my room, staring at myself in my wedding dress. I could hardly believe it. I was getting married. My family and the guests were all at the church, waiting for me to march in, but I was so nervous I hadn't left the mansion yet. It was only a 3-minute drive away, so it wasn't like I was in a terrible rush. Looking at the digital clock in my room, I marked the time. 30 more minutes. I let out a sigh. I had asked my friends to allow me to get ready on my own, so I was alone in the mansion. Yet, even though I was alone, the anxiousness of the wedding made me nervous. Why? Was I just that excited? Running a hand over my dress, my fingers traced over the seams and intricacies of the design. It was indeed my dream wedding dress, down to the last detail. I can imagine Eric making the wedding dress for them. Just except for in Heidi's route, because obviously it's said that the main character in his route is actually making their own. But I could see Eric making it for the other people. Like here. It's like, oh, thanks, Eric. It's like, you are marrying my brother after all. Princess. My parents fronted the bill as congratulations, which still made me laugh. Especially the father, because I doubt he would have seen her getting married. How they had ever come to accept Matthew was a mystery to me, especially when he was incredibly vague about who he was. I blamed his incubus magic. Yeah, he'd been like, "Hi, I'm Matthew, and I love your daughter, and I want to marry her. By the way, I'm me. I do stuff." Before I could wander further into my nostalgic memories, I heard my phone ring, ushering me to quickly answer. Hello?
Hey, Lucky Bride. We have a little bit of a problem.
My mind quickly froze. A problem? What could possibly be wrong?
Now you're scaring her, Naomi.
Carrie!
I don't mean to. Just tell her about the rings.
Huh? The rings? What about the rings?
Well, apparently Matthew forgot to bring them. He knows where they are, but you'll have to bring them with you when you come.
Matthew, you had one thing to do on the wedding day, and that was. I let out a small sigh. It wasn't a big problem, thank goodness. It was something that had an easy solution. Oh, okay, that's fine. Where did he put them?
Well, he said he put the rings in his dresser drawer. He said it was so Simon couldn't get them.
Really? I rolled my eyes. Simon wasn't that bad. Besides, he was a doll. Sure, he was a doll that can move and stuff, but he wasn't evil. Just a bit mischievous. All right, I'll bring them over. Meet me at the front of the church and I'll hand them over before the wedding starts.
Got it. See you soon.
I hung up and smiled. At least the issue wasn't something outrageous. That would have been mortifying. Quickly, I rushed over to the dresser and opened the drawers, expecting to see the ring box in plain sight. What the? When I looked inside, I found nothing except clothes. Well, duh. If it's his drawer, it's gonna be full of clothes. I opened each drawer of the dresser, checking in each nook and cranny while moving clothes around to find the box. Nothing. I hope you plan to fix that when you get home. I looked up and glanced around the bedroom, unsure of why Simon was laughing. He really wanted to play a game right now? Damn it, Simon! I hiked up my dress and began to search the halls of the mansion, determined to find Simon. He had to have the rings, and I was in no mood to play around. Simon, get me those rings! He couldn't have gone far. I decided to check this floor before going downstairs. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna close my eyes. Wow. Okay. Stepped into the bathroom, looking around and hoping to find the fur ball somewhere with the ring box. Alas, he didn't seem to be anywhere in sight. What the hell? I grumbled to myself before turning to leave. However, my eyes locked onto the bathroom mirror, seeing something that made my heart freeze up. Around my neck was a large tattoo-like mark resembling a blue chain. It was almost glowing over my skin, and the nightmare suddenly rose into my thoughts, reminding me of the fear I had felt. Staring at it, my body began to tremble as the mark seemed to snake around my neck like a moving shadow. For a moment, I thought the mark would tighten around my neck simply from watching it circle over my skin. I brought my hands to my throat, trying to cover it. I didn't want to see it. It had to have been an illusion, right? I was imagining it. I hesitantly removed my hands from my neck and sighed in relief to see no longer see the chain mark. I was freaking out over nothing. I rubbed my eyes gently, relieved. Jeez, I'm getting worked up over. However, as I looked back up at the mirror, around my neck was a blue collar. God damn it, Matthew! I told you no collars. I reached to my neck and gasped as I physically felt the collar around my neck. God damn it, Matthew! Close your eyes. I closed my eyes. This was some sick. This had to be a dream. I was dreaming and I made me wake up immediately so that I could find the rings and get married. Please let this be a dream. As I opened my eyes, I locked my eyes onto the collar that was still around my neck. My mind began to launch into a frenzy. Why was it there? What the fuck? I have a cat in my room. How did a cat get in my room when my door was shut? I'm falling. There we go. Now I have to get all comfortable again. God damn it. God damn it. Ah! God damn it! Stop! Stop! I hope you didn't see that, but if you did, that's what my story is. It's like where I put 5 of the main characters into something. Now I have to get fucking comfortable again. Damn you, cat. There we go. At that moment, a word. Wow, me, wow. A word came up into my mind. I wasn't sure how it got there or why I thought of the word, but it appeared in my thoughts as if it was exactly what I was thinking about. My fingers began to tingle slightly as it resonated in my mind. As I opened my mouth and let it fly from my tongue, I felt my body slightly warm in reply. Salvo. The collar, somehow responding to what I said, began to quiver around my neck and before fading into black mist and disappearing into the air. I instinctively sighed in relief. It was off. Thank God. I rubbed my neck, grateful to feeling my own skin and slightly appreciating the sensation of my fingers running over my bare neck. Hey, hey, no, no, no. That's Matthew's job. Sorry. Ah, my timer. Get back here.
I knew it! I knew it! That girl has demon magic.
I'm just gonna pop this back up and hopefully you don't see it. You probably do. Holy shit. Holy shit. What's going on? I have to... What the fuck's going on? I have to go down, 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 down. Okay. Sorry. 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 Sorry a million times. Why is that down? Give me that one. If you saw that, I am sorry. I'm such a professional. Can you tell? And now this. Let's see. Not Jenna. Violet attacks. Heidi technically stayed still, but she would also cry. Allie cried. Jenna would scream. I needed to. I had to. My anger and sadness bubbled and boiled until the need to scream pressed against my throat, forced me to let it go. As my scream escaped me, the other beings in the room jumped back and covered their ears. My scream wasn't weak. Well, even though it just sounded like it, considering it's 2 in the morning and people are sleeping. It was loud and bounced around the room in an endless echo. I didn't care if my throat would hurt. I didn't care that I also felt pain in my shriek. I just needed to scream and let out my sadness. Why was this happening? Why? Why? I wrapped my arms around my body, letting the scream use up all of the air in my lungs. It wasn't helping, but I just needed some sort of release.
Damn it, stop!
All of a sudden, my body began to heat up and I felt my voice dissipate into silence. I was a little dizzy, but I felt calm and the anger I had was gone. I stared at Diana, wondering what was going on. Diana had extended her hand out to me, staring at me with a pained expression as her visible eyes glimmered in a warm golden color. Was she enthralling me? God damn it. Regardless, I felt my throat heal from the scream as I stared at Diana.
Are you calm now?
No, far from it.
For a human, the girl can really shriek.
Better than the sirens can. That's for sure. Poor thing. She must be traumatized.
Yes, and you guys aren't helping.
Traumatized or psychotically mad.
Shut up. I will scream at you again.
Everyone, hush!
Thank you.
Can you stand?
Yes. La 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 la. Okay. La 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 la. Yes. La 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 la. Now, I'm going to leave it here because I am almost out of time and all that fun stuff. So remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!